Hey, here's another good one. This book is amazing. Holy crap. Like, it prompted me to buy a lot of other ones by her just because, oh, yeah. Some of the, yeah. I first heard it on YouTube audiobook and, I mean, it was blowing my mind. And then the last like few minutes of it, it was just, I kept running it on repeat. I think it was like 10 or 15 minutes, a while ago now. Yeah. But I was at work, I listened with headphones. Oh my God, I couldn't listen to it enough times. I just really wanted to fully appreciate it, and it just really shows you how you're acting out these patterns. It's crazy. But, okay, so instead of deceiving your body with alcohol, drugs, and medications, you can listen to it and let its complaints be heard. That's the first step, and a very important one, since most of us learned very early in our lives to do the opposite. Not to complain. It is not until we learn, however, to face the actual event, to articulate our discomfort, our sensations of body and mind, our concerns and confusion, that we get in touch with ourselves, with what's going on inside us here and now. The body is an important doorway through which we gain entrance to ourselves. Mm. Instead of going on a journey around the world to escape the pain of the wounds inflicted on you, which even literally people are just filling up this awkward silence they have with themselves. It's crazy when silence with yourself is awkward and like a negative thing. You got to be pretty patterned out of that because that's not nature. you think a monkey would be sitting there just very upset with himself all the time, like about something, or like they're just doing their thing. They're upset in the moment if something upsetting is going on, and then they just carry the fuck on. The body's an important doorway through which we gain entrance to ourselves. Instead of going on a journey around the world to escape the pain of the wounds inflicted on you, you can stay where you are, and from that vantage point, try to give voice to your feelings, which you've probably never done, and they conditioned you not to. That's a version of breaking your will. They coerced you into thinking that they were okay, that they were normal in these certain respects. Of course, they were okay in many other, depending on who they are, some more than others. But in certain respects, let's be honest, if you're on this video, there are certain ways that they were not okay, and they don't want to feel like they are not okay. They don't want to feel like they're messing you up. Like, a lot of them, narcissism plays a role. Defensive narcissism that they got from a parent or both parents. Comes from defensive patterns. You don't have this need to protect your own image of yourself unless you're defending something. If you're totally comfortable and there's no pattern, like an alteration on that, like you don't have to protect it, because somebody could say whatever and you'd be like, oh, okay, good opinion, like, what does that matter to me? But a narcissistic person will go out of their way to make sure others confirm this problem that they have with themselves, and fill in that void for themselves. That comes from not good enough parenting in certain ways. Let's just call it what it is. So there's the second step. Try to give voice to your feelings. You can feel and articulate the pain that was inflicted on you long ago and has been triggered by a present event, and that you have been unconsciously carrying within yourself forever since. In your imagination, you can summon the person who caused you to feel such anger, or even just imagine it. All these toddler moments and things like that, like as an infant, just imagine it. Just imagine carrying on after those, thousands of little moments where you didn't get what you needed. You didn't get a safe parent, like safe emotionally, physically, other ways. You can summon, in your imagination, someone who caused you to feel such anger, fear, and outrage. You can look him or her in the face and in an inner dialogue describe what you're feeling. This is a great way to vent and like help complete these things. Let some of that emotion out. You got patterned into hiding it and denying it. In inner dialogue describe what you're feeling. The more you practice, the more you'll have to say. If fear blocks you, tell your abuser so. Say, you make me feel so afraid that I cannot utter a single word. Keep saying it until you fully experience the fear of it, or until it subsides in you, making way for other feelings to surface. there was another book where he said the trick to loving yourself isn't to like just fake this love, fake it till you make. You have to love the part of you that doesn't like. You have to love the things that you don't like about yourself, because I mean they all have their merit. They served you in one way or another, obviously. Otherwise, you wouldn't have gotten dopamine from them. It was because your parents tricked you into needing that dopamine hit from doing these misaligned things. Um, so those helped you regulate in given bad parenting styles, you know, like given the fact that you were parented poorly in certain ways. Um, and yeah, and until you can appreciate that too, you're gonna deny these patterns because, and yeah, presently when you don't need them anymore, hopefully you don't need them anymore, but presently, even if they're screwing you over, they they're just acting out this pattern of something you really need to appreciate. So if your initial thought would be to say, oh, I love myself, and yet you have all these reservations, say, I love these reservations that I love myself. And you can kind of keep repeating that mentally or out loud until you can actually appreciate, and you basically just meet yourself where you're at, where you are. Uh, you, you don't have to go the whole marathon. You do whatever's the closest step because that's the only one that makes sense. In the same way that when you were a kid, your parents didn't help you with these close steps that you normally show your kids, like all these things that we take for granted and you're supposed to just grow up all these great ways. Those are all things that your parents were supposed to walk you through the babyest steps in a row, and they didn't, you know? Um, so you have to do the babyest steps and the closest low-hanging branch, the things that are, you can't skip steps, you know? As they say, there's nothing worth rushing. There's nothing worth getting that's worth rushing for. So you just, everything in time, you know? We're so like product based, you know, like oh we gotta get, you know, I'd like to finish this. I'd like to finish grieving by the end of, you know, by 5 o'clock, and then because I got, you know, I'm going to the gym after this. It's not like that. Keep saying it till you fully experience the fear of it, until it subsides in you, making way for other feelings to surface, like the anger you may feel that even after all these years you're still afraid to look that person in the face. In the third step, you can ask how it is that a grown man or woman you still feel, how it is that as a grown man or woman you still feel so threatened and defenseless in even the imaginary presence of this person. In the fourth step, you can tell this person how he or she ought to have behaved toward you and enabled you to live without fear, irrational anxieties, or drugs, and without needing to torture yourself or others. This fourth step, finding the repressed need, will help you to come out of the confusion, to see your needs more clearly and find ways to fulfill them so that you can stop the self-destructive fights you have been engaged in and at last learn to live with yourself. Peace.